Since we're still at the beginning of the second semester, I thought it'd be good for us to have one of our school prefects give us a few important and uplifting words. Please welcome Greg Conrad.
Every single morning, I see plates left behind in the dining hall. I'm just kidding. We're not going there today. Don't worry about that. At the age of 5, I packed up and left my childhood behind. We were moving from Seattle, Washington, to a little town in Connecticut. I hated it in Connecticut. It was by far the worst 3 years of my life. To make it worse, this was the year that my parents starred on the Jerry Springer Show, okay? I was 8 at the time and had to watch my parents fighting on live television in front of billions of people. After a couple years, we were out of there. We arrived in Peabody, Mass. When I was 9, a place that I still call home today. I spent ages 9 to 11 hanging around the North Shore Music Theater since my mom's program was affiliated there. When I was 12, I played the role of Tiny Tim for a show in the play A Christmas Carol. When I was 14, hockey became my primary sport. It was my life. I spent day after day in the rinks, which is primarily why I chose Govs, and at one point I was on the Bruins 94 watch list. Today, I am here before you, 1 freshman, 1 sophomore, 2 junior, 1 senior year later, 1 foot taller, and nearly 100 pounds heavier to share my story with you. I'm here to reach out to that section of the school that doesn't quite know me as well as they think. Now, what I am about to share with you, my close friends all know, Sammy Mills over there, but I have yet to tell my own mother. I'm here to tell you a secret about my life. Today, I will admit something that if you ask me in the hallways following this speech, I will deny till I die. It is, as many see, a part of who I am. I stand before you today to tell the Brooks community that I, Greg Conrad, I stand before you today to tell the Brooks community that I, Greg Conrad, hold on. Sponsored by Gatorade, by the way, so I had to do that. I am here to tell you that I, Greg Conrad, am a fibber. Yes, that's right. I've been referred to as the Flash Gordon of fibbing. I must start by saying that I am not here to lose my credibility with people in any way. Because trust me, it is pretty obvious when I'm fibbing. And at that point, the kids that know me well enough, they just stop listening. Now for some of you who may be confused, this talent is much different than lying. To be a liar is to be someone with no sense of self that lives in a dream world that every day they recreate. Lying is bad, but fibbing. Fibbing, it's quite all right. It is a means of expressing yourself. You know that it's not the exact truth, but it will also not hurt anybody or anything. And it is arguably the most entertaining thing in the world. It's right up there with picking your nose and Tinder. Seniors, you know by now whether or not you are a fibber. And trust me, a lot of you are. For those of you who remain questioning, I will be your shoulder to cry on if you ever need someone to admit it to, or even just someone to talk to. Sophomores and juniors, I'm warning you now. There is a fine line between a fibber and a liar. Don't push it, because once you're a liar, you're definitely not a truther. Freshmen, don't try this at home. It is a talent that you are born with, and you already know whether you're a fibber or not. Teachers, oh yes, teachers. Here to let you know that a fibber knows a fibber when he sees one. Some of you I have caught on to and watched from afar. Others, I have combined forces with to create legendary fibs. To give you a taste of the fibbing that I'm talking about, here's the defibbed story that I opened with. My aunt lived in Seattle, and I used to visit and rave about how cool it would be to live there. In terms of Jerry Springer, personally, I think Jerry Springer is hilarious. And I can assure you right now, if you're ever playing that game, Apples to Apples, and you get one of those blank cards, write down Jerry Springer, you'll win 9 times out of 10. Tiny Tim. My mom tried to get me to be Tiny Tim growing up, and when I went to acting camp at the North Shore Music Theater, I actually got kicked out after the second class. I kind of bit someone. Okay, it was more like a nibble. The kid overreacted. Okay, sorry, that was a fib. I didn't bite anyone. I did get kicked out, though. When I was 14, the Boston Bruins, they did contact me. Only it was the Ice Girls calling to sell like raffle tickets or something. Now, my friends in the audience, I'm sure you are relieved because today I am giving up the shenanigans once and for all. I have decided to turn over a new leaf, so to speak. How am I going to entertain myself on a Monday afternoon or a boring Sunday night? That is still a mystery to me, but fibbing will not be on the agenda. So here goes nothing, because now I must get all the fibs off my chest once and for all. To Miss Witt, wherever you are, remember in the sandwich line when I told you that Angelo actually owned the entire D'Angelo's chain? Well, don't quote me on that because that was a fib. The second fib requires a short anecdote. It all started on a Thursday night at 11 p.m. Checked my phone and saw the infamous email. Tour time, 9:35. The exact free period I was going to use to study for my AP Calc test, which could have potentially raised my grade from a 43 to like a 51. That morning, I walked into admissions to the front desk where they asked my name. They didn't know my name. Well, my name is Jeff, I told her. Well, Jeff, looking down the list, she said, you don't seem to be signed up for a tour today, so you're free to go. I was in the clear. But then she looked towards the door, and as I was walking out, she said, wait a second. On second thought, a boy named Greg hasn't arrived yet. Would you mind waiting just in case he doesn't show up? Needless to say, I sat for a while. Heather Youngman, this one happened the other day. But I told you, I am not going to Middlebury on a full academic scholarship. Believe me, I don't even know if I can spell full academic scholarship, so I'm sorry about that. To the girls in the coffee house who now think my cousin is Lauren Conrad. Yes, Elsie from Laguna Beach. What guy has a half-dressed picture of his cousin as his desktop background? To Charlie Mock, I wish you were here for this, buddy. But remember after I spoke with you and your family at Gov's Revisit Day, and how I told you I was just visiting a friend when I saw you 2 days later on Brooks Revisit Day? Well, no one walks around with a name tag when they're just visiting a friend, Mock. Dylan. Oh, Dylan. Stupid Dequa. Oh, man. That Kim Kardashian-esque butt that you set as your background. That was my butt. That was my butt in hockey spandex, but yes, I am flattered. To Nick Papantonis. Remember the tour you brought into my room and how hard you laughed when you saw Ian and I passed out on that beanbag? No one falls asleep midday sprawled out on their backs with their tongues hanging out. It just doesn't happen. We were pretending to sleep so our game of FIFA would not be interrupted. So who's laughing now, Paps? To the entire Brooks boys varsity soccer team. Bonkers. It's a true story, so get over it, boys. So where did all these fibs start? I told my first fib at the age of 7. This is when I realized I was a grade A fibber. My dad always told me I was really lucky because he couldn't scold a little 7-year-old boy who couldn't pronounce his R's. For this instance, picture a boy alone in the kitchen, standing on a chair, licking his fingers. Next to the boy, aka me, was an empty cookie jar. It then went a little something like this. Daddy, I swear, a big freaking gorilla just came in and ate every single snickerdoodle. So where does this chapel speech leave me? In 4 short months, I am moving on to a whole new world of vulnerability with endless opportunity. But this time, I'm going to be held in check. Jory, sorry to put this on you, but I am putting 100% of this on you. Even though you may enjoy the fibs just as much as I do, I am asking you to keep me in check and make sure I do not slip up. Willie Waters once said, what's up, Will? Greg, get your head out of here. I'm just kidding, Will. Don't worry about it. He said, just tell the truth. It will really save you some time. And you know what? He's right. I've been thinking about this impulse of mine a lot lately, and frankly, it bothers me. Why do I carry on stretching the truth? Why do I need to get my entertainment at the expense of others? Can I be satisfied with who I am without embellishing things? I'll admit it, I haven't spent much time thinking about myself lately. But at 18, just months away from college, I've decided it's really about time to. To some extent, we all control who we are, and we certainly control who we want to be. In the weeks to come, I will start to know the truth, and hopefully get a better understanding of who I really am. I look forward to unmasking the true me, stripped of the comforting and at times wild fibs that I've clothed myself in since childhood. So here's to a new me. Hope you guys like him. Thank you.